Back in the 80s, I was looking for a recreation farm to kind of hang out here with my kids, and I got involved with a fellow from New Jersey that got me interested in the cranberry business, and we spent quite a bit of time with going up to Massachusetts and looked at their operations, looked at some Jersey operations, and felt it was something that could be done here in Delaware. We planted them about 3 years prior to a harvest. It takes 3 years for them to grow, and then they will, the vines will grow and mature. Every year they get more and more vines. They run. It's kind of like a strawberry. The vines run on the ground and then they reroot, and then they produce uprights. And then it takes about 3 years to get them fully developed, and then every year that you have them, they'll produce more and more cranberries. We've averaged 180 to 200 barrels per acre, so it would be 20,000 pounds per acre. It would be a good crop for me. I would be happy with that. But this year, being a off crop with the weather, and then we had some damage to the vines, we had to put more fertilizer on the vines to get my vines back into shape for next year. So hopefully next year we'll have a real good crop. Again, depending on the weather, depending on the rain, depending on the heat. Yesterday we flooded a bog about 8 inches of water, and we put the harvester in there, and I rode on the harvester for about 4 hours, knocking the cranberries off. Rode at a speed of about 7/10 of a mile, and we do a 16-foot wide swap. We knock the berries, and then we overlap 8 feet and do it over again. So we knock them twice to make sure we've gotten all the berries off the vines. We have a big boom around the cranberries that contains them, so when we're done knocking them, we pull the boom in. But this morning, the guys came in about 4 o'clock this morning and started to pump up and raise the water level from 8 to 10 up to about 30 inches of water, so that the boom could actually float in the water, keep the cranberries on top, and we corral them to the corner where the harvester is located. And then we about 9:30, 10 o'clock, we started loading the cranberries. They come through the harvester, and they're sprayed with a plume of water, and the cranberries are bouncing. The trash is pushed backwards, and the good cranberries go forward. They drop down to the conveyor and then loaded into the waiting truck. And these cranberries will be shipped over to Chatsworth, New Jersey, and taken to the Ocean Spray receiving station, and then they will be cleaned and processed and put into a freezer warehouse, and then they'll be eventually pressed into juice.